morning, so I was sitting there wondering why nobody was showing up. Now I know. Good morning, everybody. Morning. Morning, Alex. Morning, Kenton. How was everybody this morning? Morning, Abby. Morning, Connor. We'll just wait a couple more minutes here. Morning, Isaiah. We'll go at 37. We're going to start with that warm-up, so have that up on your screen ready to go, if you would, please. Are you all alive? No one has said anything to me. Can you hear me? Hello? Anybody alive out there? Oh, okay, thank you, Miss Kayla. Just wanted to make sure we're all alive and well. All right, so let me go ahead and show you my screen, and then you guys can start that warm-up. Okay, you have 2 minutes. Time starts now. Got about a minute left. We're going to add to our notes today, so I need you to go into Google Classroom and open up your guided notes. Fourteen seconds. Okay, time is up. Okay, so we're going to go back to our notes, and we're going to visit them for just a brief moment of time, but I want to kind of go over some of the things that we did last time. So this is where you're going to have to communicate with me or put in the chat so that I know you're alive. Who can tell me what the 6 basic nutrients are? List them in the chat. Either you know all 6, you know 1. What are the 6 basic nutrients? Carbs, fat, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water. Perfect, Caroline. Okay, now, what are the 4 that are compounds only? Or how about this, just to make it easier on you? Which one is not a compound? Let's start with that. Out of those 6, which one is not a compound? Any ideas? Okay, so minerals are not a compound. They're an element. Okay. What periods in your life require greater amounts of nutrients? Give me one period in your life where you need a great amount of nutrients. Infancy, thank you. What 3 nutrients provide energy? Out of those 6, where do we get energy from? What 3? Or if you only know 1, I'll take 1. But what are the 3 that provide energy? Protein is 1. Yes, Miss Kayla. Good. Good to see you. Carbs. Yep. Vogel. That's correct. 1 more. What's the other one? Fat. Thank you, Kelsey. Okay. Right. Exactly. Okay. So that's just a recap from the other day. Now let's go back into our notes and we'll do a couple here. Okay, so this is the one we ended up on. And so we talked about, food is where we get our energy from. The quality of food does make a difference. So, instead of eating Twinkies every day, an apple, you can kind of compare the two. The apple's definitely got more quality nutrients than the Twinkie does. If you're more active, then you're going to need more energy for fuel. Okay. So just like if you drive your car more, you got to put more gas in it to keep it going. Okay. If you don't drive your car very much, you don't need as much gas as somebody else that is very active or drives a lot. Okay. So just to recap back in your notes, your guided notes, you under where it says provide energy, you need a couple bullets there as to what that means or what that's trying to describe. So the next slide I'm going to show you is one that you're going to need to know for the activity we're going to do right after the Google slide. So you may want to jot this information down on your paper there. Sorry, 2 more. There's this one and then the next one, sorry. So chemical reactions that take place in cells release energy from the nutrients that you get from your food. And we already talked about the 3 that provide us energy are fats, protein, carbs. So those 3 people that chimed in knew that. Good job. However, protein is building blocks for our cells and also for vital functions in our body. So we shouldn't rely on protein as a sole energy provider because that's like dividing up what it needs to do. And so that's not good for us. So you want to make sure that you really are using carbs and fat for that energy piece and leaving protein for what it's meant to do for our body. Vitamins, minerals, and water, I look at that as like a family with the other 3. You kind of have to have all of them together to be able to work properly. So the vitamins, minerals, and water are needed to help release all that energy from the carbs, fat, and protein. So they kind of go harmoniously together, that they all kind of depend on one another to get the vital nutrients out to our body. Okay, so this is the slide I thought was next. So this is the one that you're going to need to jot some information down about. So when you are measuring calories, they're called kilocalories, but we know them as just calories. remember that the nutrients that provide energy are carbs, fat, and protein. So for 1 gram of carbs, that equals 4 kilocalories, or just calories of energy. And 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories of energy. And 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories of energy. Water, vitamin, minerals do not yield any energy, and therefore they do not have calorie content. So with that being said, I'm going to show you this next slide about calories. Whoops. And then we'll go to our activity. So alcohol does have calorie content. So 1 gram of alcohol is equal to 7 calories of energy, but it's not considered a nutrient because it does not promote growth. It inhibits it. It does not maintain cells. It destroys cells, and it does not repair tissue. It inhibits healing. Okay, so that's why we do not count that as a form of a nutrient, but just so you know, there are calories involved. Okay, so with that being said, let's go into our activity. So if you go into Google Classroom, it says determining energy value. So open that up. And I believe I made you a copy. So you should be able to use it and write on it. And I'm going to make a copy of my own just to make sure that I don't write on the main copy. Okay. All right. So what we are going to do is we're going to do some math, and I already have one already set up here. So we're going to do an example first, and then I'm going to have you work on the activity. Okay, so look at this food label that I have in front of you, and tell me if you can. I might have to make it bigger for you guys. Let me see. Okay, so tell me how many fats you see. How many fats are in this? I believe it's macaroni and cheese. So how many fats did someone put in the chat? Because I can't see. Okay, Caroline, I will go back if you need me to. But answer me that. So look at the label and tell me how many fats, just total fat. How much total fat is in there? And you can unmic if you want, if you would feel more comfortable. Okay, Kayla says 12. That's correct. Okay, so down here next to fat, I'm going to put 12. Okay, what about protein? How much protein do you see in this food label? I'm going to go back. I got to switch between the two screens. So protein, you can either unmic or you can put in the chat. What do you see for protein? How much protein? 5. Thank you, Caroline. Okay, so I'm going to put protein next to, or sorry, 5 next to protein. What about carbohydrates, total carbohydrates? How many do you see? Nobody's weighed in yet. Okay, Connor did. Thank you. 31. Okay, so to figure out how many calories come from each one of these, what you want to do is you want to times the number in protein by 4. Okay, because in 1 gram of protein, there's 4 calories. And then for fat, you want to times that by 9. Same reason. Okay, 9 calories and 1 gram of fat. And for carbs, there's 4 again. Okay, so the biggest thing that you have to remember for your test is that fats are the ones that have 9 calories per gram. And protein and carbs are the same, but you got to remember the 4. So figure that out. So who can tell me, whoops, what each one of these equals? Okay, so let's start with protein. I think I can do this one on my own. 20. So maybe get your phone out and calculate these for me. 12 times 9 is what? What is 12 times 9? Somebody tell me. What is 12 times 9? 108. Thank you, Kayla. Okay, so I'm going to put 108 on the line. What about 31 times 4? What's 31 times 4?
124.
Thank you. Glad to see you today, by the way. 124, okay? So to find calories, what I have to do is take 20, 108, 124, and add them all up to get the total calories. I'm going to put TC down here for the total calories. Whoops. And somebody tell me what that equals if you could. What does that add up to be? What is the add up? You want me to show you again? Did I go too fast?
It's 252.
252, thank you. Okay, so I want to show you one step further. So on the worksheet that we're going to do, this is what you need to do right here. But let me show you how you can take it one more step further. You can divide, where's a divide symbol? You can divide by 252 in each one of these. And now this is going to give me a percent of protein, fats, and carbs in the product. Okay, so somebody take 20 into your calculator and then divide. I don't know if I'm saying that right either because I'm not a math teacher, but you want to take the smaller and divide it into the larger. So somebody do that and tell me what you got. Let me go back to the chat. Anyone figure that out yet? Okay, it should not be a decimal. If you want to put in the 21st and then hit the division symbol to turn it into a decimal. And then you're going to have to move the decimal 2 places. And that's going to give you the number, but you also need to round if it's 5 or above. So try that one again. 20 into the calculator divided by 252. And what do you get? What percent you get? All right, sounds like I've stumped some people. So let me show you. So the answer that I get is 0.0793 and on. So to get the right answer, I would move this decimal 2 places. Okay, this is a 9, so the 7 actually rounds up to 8, and it's a percentage. Okay, so 8% of this product of macaroni and cheese is protein. Okay, now do the same with fat. Take 108, divide it by 252, and that should give you 0.4285, something like that. Whoops, 4285. Okay, and you move the decimal 2 places. This is an 8, so it actually rounds up to 43. Okay, and you do the same thing with this one. 124 divided by 252 equals 0.4920. So 0.4920. Move your decimal 2 places. That makes it 49. It does not round up because the 2 is less than 5. So you got your 49%. Okay. Now, to see if that's correct, you would take 49 plus 43 plus 8, and it should equal 100%. It might sometimes be 2 or 1 off, but it should add up to 100%, okay? And that shows you that you've done your math correctly. Questions on what you just saw me do? Any questions on that? So basically what the macaroni and cheese is that 50% pretty much is all carbohydrates. And the fat makes up 43% of macaroni and cheese. And the protein, only 8%. So if you were looking to eat something with high protein in it, this would not be it. If you're looking for high carbs, this would definitely be what you're looking for. Or if you're trying to cut down on fat a little bit, probably this would not be the best option. Okay. All right, if you look back up here at the calories, you see that there's 250. Sometimes it's off just by a couple points. So you're good. So let's go back to our worksheet here. I'm going to try to delete this because I'm going to use this next hour. Whoops. Okay. So let's go into the worksheet. So what you want to do is I'm going to give you the numbers. If we were in school, we would pull out the textbooks and use our narrative value chart that's in the back of the book, but we're not in class, so that makes it a little difficult. So I'm going to feed you your problems, and you're going to do them, and then you're going to tell me your answer. Okay, so for protein, we have 16. For fat, we have 7. And for carbs, we have 48. Okay, so what I want you to do is do the math, figure out the calories, and then give me the total calories. Okay, so I would love you to highlight or use something for your letter or for your numbers, just so it's easier for me to score and be able to see what you put in there. Okay, so take a moment and figure that out. Do you guys remember how many you would times protein by? Let's remind ourselves, what do you times 16 by? Somebody in the chat or unmic yourself. 4. Thank you. Oh, good job. Okay. You are with me. Okay. So you're going to do that with 4. And then what about the fat? What are you going to times that by? The FAT, what are you going to times it by? Thank you. 9. And then what are you going to times the carbs by? Somebody weigh in on that. Carbs times what? 4. Thanks, Connor. Okay, so you're going to times that by 4. All right, so now I need to know the calories. So as soon as you have a number, put it in the chat and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Let me know when you have your answer. I want to know the total calories in that product. Canned white beans with pork and tomato sauce. That just, I think they're talking about chili, but it just sounds funny the way they worded it.
I got for protein, the total calories is 64.
Okay, let me write that in, Kayla. Hold on. Okay, 64 is right. Whoops. I'm in the wrong section here. 64. Okay, did you figure out the other ones?
I'm doing this now.
Okay. So 9 times 7, if you know multiplication, you can whip that baby out. Anybody?
63.
63, thank you. And then 48 times 4, what'd you get for that?
192.
Yes, 192. All right, so now what is our total calories? The grand total is what?
I got 319.
That's correct. Good job. 319. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I'm going to give you the numbers for these, and then I'm going to have you go through, and then we'll go back and go over the answers. Okay, so for canned tuna, we have protein is going to be 24. We have fat is going to be 7. And we have carbohydrates, which is 0. Then we have macaroni and cheese at 7. Fat is 1. Carbs, 39. And we have spaghetti and meatballs. And we have 19, 12, and 39. And then our last one here, raisins. We have, this one's interesting because they're doing a half a cup, but in the workup, they did a cup. So I had to take everything and divide it in half. So this one is actually 2.5. This one is actually 0.5. And then the carbs is 57.5. Okay, so there's your workups. Take a second, go do the math, and then we're going to go over those. I'm going to sit here and highlight while you work on that. Let's give you, how much time do you think you need? Anybody want to weigh in on their math ability? Let's start with 6 minutes and go from there. Let's see if you can do it in 6. If not, we'll add more. Anybody have any questions? If anybody does the percentage and finds out the percent of protein, carbs, and vitamins in each product, I'll give you extra credit. 2 points per. So you're looking at 10 extra credit points if you did them all. And some of you might need extra credit at this time. We have 2 weeks until the end of the quarter. Just saying. Got about 3 minutes. Somebody want to weigh in on what number they're on right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? 4? Okay. That sounds pretty good. You're making good progress. Got 2 minutes. 1 minute. I know, Alex, I wish there was an easier way. Like you could just like set it on, somehow keep it on your highlight instead of having to go back and do all that. I agree, it is a pain. But it's easier to look at. Everything doesn't blend together. But I completely understand. Okay, so who will not be done in 14 seconds? Weigh in, please. You can just put ME in the chat and then just hit enter. So who will not be done in 3 seconds? Okay. Kels, can you give me a number that you're on? Kayla, number? Okay, so you're pretty close. All right, I'll give it till 8:09. 8:09. And then we're gonna go ready or not. So 8:09. Okay, so we'll do one, Caroline, but let's wait until 8:09 and I'll do the next one in the series showing you that again, so you know. But basically you take the total calories from protein, let's say, and you divide that by the total calories of protein, carbs, and fats. And that's going to give you a decimal. And then you move the decimal 2 places and you have to round up if it's 5 or above, and you turn it into a percent. But I'll show you that if you need a visual. I can show that to you. Okay, let's go back and fill it out. So it would be great if you could unmic and do this, just so I don't have to go back and forth between the me and the worksheet. And so if you take 24 and times it by 4, what's your total? What did you get for that one? Anybody?
96.
96. Okay, and if you took 7 times 9 again, what is that? 63, right? Yep. And what about 0 times 4?
0.
0. Easy peasy. And then what's your total calories, your TC?
159.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so then I was going to show Caroline this and anyone else that wants extra credit. So you would take that number and divide that by 159. And then that's going to give you a percent. Let me use my calculator here. So if I take 96 into the calculator divided by 159, that gives me 0.60377. And the answer would then be 0.60. Sorry, not point. Hello, Zupka. 60%. Okay. So tuna is 60% protein, which is really good, actually. Okay. So then you would do that with all of them, just like that. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you still need some assistance. Let me know. All right. So let's move on to the next one then. 7 times 4 is what?
28.
Thank you. And then 9 times 1 obviously is 9. And then 39 times 4 is what?
39.
Anyone want to weigh in on that? 39 times 4?
156.
Yeah, 156. Okay, and then if I take all those numbers and add them up, what's my TC?
193.
Correct. All right. Let me just finish highlighting of these. I think I'm going to get an A on my assignment here. All right, so 19 times 4, what is the number?
76.
Okay, and what about 12 times 9?
135.
Try that one again.
Oh, if I get that one. 12 times 9. What did I do? It's 108.
Yep,
What did I do wrong? Oof.
I don't know. 39 times 4,
156.
56 again. Okay, and then what is the G, or what is the TC? Anybody? What's the TC? 76, 108, 156. Add them up. What you get?
340.
Thank you. 340. Okay. All right, last one. 2.5 times 4. What is the number? What'd you get?
10.
10. 0.5 times 9. What'd you get?
4.5.
4.5. And then what about 57.5 times 4?
230.
Okay, and then when you add them all up, what'd you get?
244.5.
Correct. Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is to answer those questions after we've done all the work. It should be easy for you to answer those questions because you have the information sitting right in front of you. So take a moment and answer 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. And then if anybody did percentages and they want to make sure that they're on the right page, I did all the percentages too, so I can tell you, if you're close or not close, or, so just keep that in mind if you need to go over that with you. Okay, so we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9 at 8:16. So answer those questions, use your resources, please. And then, it'll be easy peasy for you to answer those. 8:16. Anybody need more time on those last remaining questions? Just put ME in the chat so I know you need more time. Okay. All right, I'll give you a couple more. Let's go 18. Caroline, do you want to go over any percentages or do you think you're set? Or-
I'm good.
Okay, and if anyone else needs to, you can always let me know. Or if you want me to go over one more, I can do that as well. We're gonna go in 1 minute. Ready or not. Okay, so let's go to those questions. Which food provides the fewest calories from protein? What did you guys find out? Which food provides the fewest calories from protein? You can put it in the chat or you can unmic and just tell me. What do you think? Raisins. Thank you, Miss Kayla. Okay, which food provides the most calories from fat? The most calories from fat. Amelia, I didn't see you weigh in on that. That's correct as well. Job. Spaghetti. Yes, thank you, Amelia. All right, so we have, I'm just going to put spaghetti. It's meatballs, but which food provides the most calories from carbohydrates? What'd you get for that one? Has the most carbs. Yep, raisins again. Okay, which food is lowest in total calories per serving? Lowest in calories per serving. Thank you, Kenton. Yes, that's correct. Tuna. And then what do calories measure? What do they measure? Do you remember what we talked about? What do calories measure? Food gives us what? Energy. Yes, thank you. Good job, guys. Okay, so we're going to do part 2 of this assignment. You see this other page down here? Okay, so your assignment for the last 10 minutes is to find any type of food label. I don't care what it is. Has to be different. Put the image on the page, and then I want you to do the math problem. Okay? Again, if you do extra credit, which is the percentages, along with the math problems that we did, I'll give you 2 points each. So now we're looking at 14 extra credit points. Okay, if you do it all. So again, 2 images of 2 food labels of any foods that you're, you could focus on cereal, you could focus on, a food group, whatever. But put the food label here and then do the math problem, write it out like we did, the P, the F, the C, and then tell me the number and then times it by the numbers that you're supposed to, finding the finding the calories, and then I want to know what the total calories are. And then if you do the math percentages, I'll give you 2 points for each one that you do for your problems. Okay. So, I mean, if you only want, maybe you only need 5 extra credit points, or you just want that little cushion, then, just do, 6, do 6, do round numbers, but, you don't have to do all the extra credit to still get some extra credit. Okay. So, are there any questions that you have for me of how you're going to complete that sheet today? Okay, and everyone understands about the extra credit. I'm only offering that to my students that came today. So it will not be offered in the classroom. It's only for those people that are here today that will receive that extra credit. Because we have 10 minutes left, I mean, I'm gonna make it due Friday because the virtual kids will be doing it too. But I would say, if you've done it with us all the way along, we have 10 minutes left. I think you should be able to finish it today, but it's going to be due Friday because of our virtual kids that need, the same amount of time to do the work. But yeah, it'll be due Friday. So, yep. I better double check that that's what I put on it. Now you make me second guess myself, Kayla. Okay, it does say it's due today. Okay, so I'll adjust that to, actually, there is no due date on it. So I'll adjust that to the 26th, which would be Friday. So. All right. Someone has their hand up. What was that little blurb? I thought there was a blurb. Oh, maybe someone left. I think someone left. Not sure who, or maybe Isaiah came back. I don't know. So if you want to stick around, you can till 8:35, but you can go as long as you're working on your nutrition stuff until that time. But that's all I'm going to do today is just give you the rest of the time to get your work done and get it in. Stick around if you want. You are here and I'm here till 8:35. I'm not going anywhere, but if you have to leave, that's your prerogative. You're going to make that decision for yourself. Oh, Lauren, you're a little late. Just sleeping?
Yeah, because I thought we only had the certain hours. I forget. Because sometimes certain people said we were having a half day, and certain people said we weren't.
Yeah, nope, it's regular schedule. So basically we just did a bunch of math today, so
Okay.
yeah, so the worksheet that you're gonna have to do, I might have to show you how to do that Monday.
All right.
Okie dokie. But yeah, I just gave them the last 10 minutes to get their work in, and that's what we're doing, so. Yep.
I just realized I'm the only one still in here.
I just thought you liked hanging out with me, Alex.
I just finished doing all the percentages and whatever for the.
Nice. Did you do the your own image of the food label too?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you'll get some good extra credit on that.
Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, if it's going to be super simple, why not do it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes sense, but you might be the only one that takes me up on it. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed your math work today. And I'll see you Monday, I guess.
Yep. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you have a good weekend, bud.
Yep.
All right, bye. Oh, Alex. Okay.